I think we live now. But what's up, y'all? So it's your boy Bz, and we coming at y'all with just this quick message. Um, I am about to get ready to go to bed pretty soon, but I want to get on here real quick. This message kind of came to me earlier today, but like I said, I've been kind of busy, so I'm finally been able to kind of get a chance to get it out there for y'all. But so the message I got was, why disconnecting allows you to reconnect. And with this statement, it's basically statement slash message, but it is a statement. It's important to disconnect because you think about a lot of times how we're so caught up in our phones, or we're caught up in certain things in our reality that take us away from really connecting with ourselves, and that inner voice, that inner guidance, God, source, our angels, our gods, right? A lot of times we're so caught up on putting other things in that place to give us a feeling, or, we're connecting with things that don't allow us to really be in that flow or be in that quiet time of being able to hear, listening, right? The awareness of being able to pay attention to, what is being told to us or what is being shown to us. And even though it's a little daunting, especially if it's like your first time going into the process of, disconnecting, a lot of people, they struggle with it because it's that part of themselves that has the fear of like where it will go. So let's say, for instance, right, if a person is so used to, and you know what? No, it's also like muscle memory, if you think about it like that as well. When a person is used to particularly doing something a certain way or handling like a particular behavior, right? If it's cycled within you, then you're going to continue to do that. So that's why a lot of times when certain people are connecting with certain things, or like when you're not taking that time out to connect and listen, right? You listen to more external things than you listen to your internal voice. So you rely on like external validation, external how you should handle something, external advice from other people. Hold on, TV went off. And this is sometimes what pulls you away from really truly relying on your internal guidance that is there for you to, utilize, because it's going to be more of something that you can trust and believe more than if you're believing in things that are outside of yourself, right? And let's say that those things are not something that is actually factual, right? But it's just something that's there to kind of give you that comfort. A lot of times, like, people will settle for the comfort because it's better than the truth. So you think about going into the truth, going inward, that requires you to actually break down and, like I said, disconnect from the reality, or disconnect from the phone, or disconnect from certain people. And yeah, it's hard at first because, like I said, we're so used to, relying on these things to give us a feeling, or relying on these things to give us the answers. But imagine back in the day, like, people didn't have technology, You think about when it was like everything just was starting out. People were literally having to connect through nature, the beauty of nature, the beauty of silence, right? And now it's like we have so many things that cloud our thoughts, cloud our hearing, cloud our seeing. We get put with so much that's in front of us that we can't even figure out what's inside. So that's why, it's important to make sure that we're taking time to disconnect, whether that's you putting the phone down for like 30 minutes or an hour. I know some people that literally go half a day without really being on the phone, and they're just being productive, but they're also, but it's not just the productive side of it, but it's also, like I said, taking that time out to truly connect with yourself. You think about if you listen to music all the time, or if you scrolling on TikTok all day, right? You constantly hearing all of this stuff that's on TikTok, the jokes, the music, but you're not really hearing yourself. You're not really hearing how you really feel. You're not really hearing the internal part of you that is key to pushing you down the right path. That's key to getting you to have better and clearer thoughts, you know? You're not even been able to have that chance to really like had a reflection moment, right? Because like I said, you're always in something, or something's always in your face distracting you away from the things that you really got to work on, or the things that that needs your attention for real. And I think that's where this reality tends to pulls us away from our divinity, because we get so caught up in these we get so caught up in the material, and sometimes that material can pull you away. And a lot of times people don't want to say it, they don't want to hear it, because like I said, it's part of the thing that hits the ego. Because a lot of times, like I said, if you see yourself being more defensive, like, nah, that don't affect me, like, eventually at some point it does. You're just not seeing it because it's that normal part of the ego that wants to be defensive and be like, no. But that's why I said, if you gave yourself that time to have a reflection moment, disconnected from everything, and just it was only you and yourself and your thoughts, or you and you with your feelings, or you with silence, right? And some people, they don't know how to be in that silence. Some people, they don't know how to disconnect. They don't know how to truly be in that state. You know, it's not hard, but it's also something that it does require you to kind of push yourself, versus then settling for, oh, it won't work, or, you know, I'm not finna waste my time doing that. And I think that's where a lot of people tend to fail when it comes to connecting with themselves, because they find it to be hard. Or like, I think about like when I hear a lot of people tell me about their experience of like meditating, or like trying, you know, they always say that like they never understand like what it's for, like in the moment that they're doing it don't really feel like nothing, or, you know, so they never go back to that point. It's the same way with like disconnected, right? When certain people try to stop doing something, they get pulled back into reconnecting with certain things that necessarily isn't beneficial or helpful for them, you know. But maybe that's part of, you know, and that's another thing. You got to understand, people are going to do things because everybody learns it on their own time. So yeah, maybe for some of y'all, like, y'all know that the whole like disconnecting and taking the time away to, you know, have space and time for yourself, but not just yourself, but like connecting with yourself, like connecting with your inner voice, connecting with your guidance, connecting with God, you know. How can you hear God if you got other people in your face? How can you hear God if you got TikTok rolling all day? How can you hear God if you got the music blasting 24/7? You know? How can you hear your own self if noise is clouding everything that you hear or see? And I say see too because seeing can also just be a perspective thing, you know? It doesn't have to actually be a vision thing, but it goes to part like perspective, you know? Because when you really disconnect from a lot of things, the perspective that you're looking at is that silence with you and you, the reflection. You see what I'm saying? So that's where it goes a little deeper of like understanding the view part of how your view can be clouded. You know, your perspectives can be, I just heard shattered. Like your perspectives can be shattered because of certain things that are not allowing you to see. It's kind of giving me like, yeah, that's kind of how I see it. It's like a shattered glass. Like you can't truly see the full reflection of it because there's things that have disrupted or cracked it or brought it to a state where you don't really feel like you can. It just doesn't even look like you want to see that reflect, you know? And that's why some people, they tend to run away from like connecting with themselves, because it's that truth that they got to face. And some people not ready to face it, you know? But the main message that I was getting at today with this video is that, you know, it's okay to take that time to disconnect from the things in our reality. It's okay to take that time to disconnect from people. It's okay to take that time to disconnect from the phone, you know, and give yourself that space to be with you and have that reflection moment. And but also be, like I said, in that silence, because that's where you really can hear your internal voice more. That's where you hear more of clear thoughts. You think about when it's things in front of your face, right? It sometimes can influence how you think or influence how you see something. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't got out in your face all the time, then you have a more clear view of what it is that you even feel, what it is that you see, what it is that you, how it is that you, even in expressive form, feel about something, you know? So just make sure that you guys are definitely taking the time out to disconnect, whether that's putting the phone up for 30 minutes, going outside. Like I had one weekend where I went outside and I left my phone literally on a charge, and I was pretty much outside for a whole hour without my phone. And I wasn't stressing about getting on the phone. I think I just honored that time that I had to disconnect, you know, from the reality and just go connect with myself. And I know it sounds all like, you know, it sounds like is that true? But it's just one of those things that you have to experience on your own, you know? And like I said, you know, people come to that point when it's time. So no one should ever feel forced that they need to like forcibly disconnect. But at the same time, if you do get to a point where you can kind of see where you're letting this reality or like certain things on social media or certain people really influence and pull you into certain directions that you don't resonate with, you definitely have to take that time and disconnect, because you connect with yourself is going to give you the clarity on if that is something that's good, bad, sad, happy. You know, you'll really get a clearer view, because you don't have, like I said, you don't have things in your face distracting you, pulling you every which way. It's clear. It's a clear sight, because it's the reflection of you and you, not the reflection of you and then the cracks and the flaws of other people. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the thing. We reflect, and the energy of other people can also reflect and refract back to us. You know, people can project on you the same way we can project on people. It's energy. So you got to understand when you're connecting with certain people, connecting with hearing certain things, certain frequencies, all of that goes into play. But if you're never disconnected enough, you're never taking that time to really remove these distractions, then how can you ever really trust your own self? How can you ever really rebuild that connection with yourself or source, like I was saying, or God, you know, or your angels or your guides? So you got to respect and honor that time and disconnect from this reality, whether, like I said, whether that be in the phone, people, an environment. Just take that time and disconnect and watch. You're going to see how much you come into the connection with yourself when you disconnect from other things that are not healthy for you. So that's all that I have. I don't think anything else. I thank everybody for tuning in. This is my first live too, so I appreciate everyone that did stop by. And yeah, we're gonna catch y'all in the next video though. I'm definitely gonna go to bed because I gotta wake up in the morning because I got some important stuff to do. So y'all wish me good luck, and I'm wishing y'all good luck with connecting with yourself and finding your inner voice. And if it's not the inner voice you're looking for, finding a connection with God truly. So I thank y'all for tuning in. It's your boy Bz, the Dream Visionist, and we are out.